truly do have that unique perspective of first being a client, and now you're a parent partner. So how do you think that that experience helps you and have this unique offering to the families that you serve now?
Well, I've been through so much of it personally, and I've learned a lot. I've learned how to separate my own particular style of parenting, to separate that from my child, because you can't just keep ramming that square peg into the round hole. What I've learned is that it's not, well, she needs to do this and she needs to do that. Rather, I learned I need to. And this is the thing that's the hardest to express to parents, because they see it as their children being non-compliant.
It's really kind of a unique relationship because the Ventura County behavioral health clinician is working with the child, and then the parent partner comes in, is working with the parent. They also work with the child. But one of the benefits, I would imagine, is that the clinician just gets that office visit. They get the explanation from the family is how they see it. But the real benefit is the parent partner getting to go into the home and seeing it and being able to relay some of that information back to the clinician to get a much clearer picture of what's really going on in the home.
Of course, yes. You see them, with their hair down, so to speak. You actually witness the mood swings. You witness how a parent reacts when a child melts down.
Yeah.
And rather than putting, the game face on for the, while they're out in public, they're in the privacy of their home, and we see it. We see the real deal. And then we can work from there. And it's just a matter of whether parents are willing to take the responsibility of, wow, I've been really blowing it as a parent. And rather than get defensive, to say, okay, what can I do now? What can I do? What can I do better? They're huge, and I find that most of these families have so few people, especially with the ones that have children that are really out of control. They lose their friends because nobody wants to be around them. Nobody wants to be around their children.
They get alienated.
They really do. But those are the ones that I find it's most of the time it's a parenting issue. And the parents could do something about this. And they just need their eyes open to it, and they need some practical helps. And that's where United Parents comes in.
Maybe you could tell us a little bit about what United Parents could do to better our services, or for that matter, with any of the agencies and organizations throughout the county. Did you find that there just wasn't the right kind of help for certain needs that you had, or is Ventura County as a whole, have most everything you need?
I think Ventura County is fairly equipped. However, there are not enough juvenile facilities, hospitals. Our children are being sent all over California, wherever they can find a bed. Even as far as San Diego.
It's unreal, really.
Well,
I mean, it's crazy because how do you support your child and you have visits, regular visits and things if they're in inpatient hospitalizations.
Exactly. To go for the hour, to drive down and leave the rest of your family, and I mean even if it's 2 hours away, it's still too much. And so that's one thing.
Yeah.
I know that's a very tall order.
Yes.
I think the services are very good. I think that we just have to, as parents, learn to identify what what works for our children and what doesn't, so that we don't use up all these resources that aren't doing our family any good.
I imagine your bond with your daughters must be just amazingly strong.
It is. Our bond is very strong.
I mean, they're young and they've been through so much already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did they have the news about last week?
Mm-hmm.
How did you handle that?
They were a little scared, but they walk through just like I walk through.
Do they have strong faith as well?
They do, and we also have a very strong support system. And I was just diagnosed again last week. Yes, for the third time. So I don't have any details yet, but His grace is sufficient, and I remember those words. And that He's not going to take me a day sooner than He's already planned, and I'm going to raise my girls and in the best way I know how, and teach them to live life to its fullest.
Yeah, well, you certainly know a lot about living life to its fullest. You really understand acceptance, don't you, of your situation, of what life throws to you, what people are going through, acceptance of it, instead of, like you said, becoming defensive and fighting it. And how does that help with the families that you serve?
Well, it's taking responsibility. I don't sit around and whine about the circumstances. I say, what can I do?
You're such a strong woman, Donna. I know that about you. I mean, I'm amazed that you carry on and we always have a chin up. You're never gloating. You're never poor me. It's amazing. How were you ever like that and you had to change, or have you just been strong-willed like that by nature? Your character?
No, I think I've grown into it. As I've matured, I've realized, how do I want to live? What do I want to portray? And then, of course, having children, realizing that, children watch their parents like hawks. What do I want to show them? Well, gee, I better get with it. I better be the person that I want to be. I better be the person I want them to be.